Hey folks, it's Bishopheals from the ECF Forums and host on Vape TV. How the hell are you guys doing over there, baby? It's fucking Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, man. Oh, I tell you. Dude, I have to tell you guys real quick before I get to this review. Empire Mods was kicking. It was totally kicking Saturday. Ooh, from 12 to close. It was just non-stop rebuildable coils. I mean, the place was totally jam-packed. Totally packed. Oh man, I'm telling you, I needed a day to recover. I was talking about it last night on my show, and it was just, I was still recovering. Still recovering. But, you know, Keith did open up a whole new store, and it's beautiful. It's very spacious. He has more room for inventory at the same time. Also to build coils. It's, forget about it. Forget about it. Totally neato. And good news is, at the end of the month at Mo Vapes, he's throwing his meat. Yes, it's going to be the 30th of this month. Ooh, the grand party before we head down to Vape Bash. That's right. Vape Bash. Forget about it. Totally freaking great. That's all the way out in Illinois. So, let's get to this.
Release the Kraken! Release the Kraken!
Anyway, it's here. Yes, it's in my hands. Let's take a look at the Kraken. Totally at the Kraken. It comes into this little box right over here. It's already assembled. Okay, so it's not like you have to screw in everything. Okay, it's already assembled, which is pretty cool. Also, you get some mesh, you get stainless steel rope, okay, and your Allen key. Okay, so let's put this puppy together and let's see it up close. Forget about it. Okay, so here it is. We have the Kraken. Now, what makes this RBA very special is because of the air control. Yes, it has air control, dual air controls. Okay. You see that? That's one slit. Let me focus that for you. There we go. So you have the choice of using one air control or two air controls. Okay? That one is open. This one is closed. And you can easily just turn the cap, and as you can see, you see that? You can actually start with a very small air hole and gradually increase it. See that? So it increases it, and it does the same on the opposite side. So it all depends if you're going to be using single coil or dual coil. As you can see, it says Vicious Ant. Okay, 1.1. And let's look at this deck. Here we are. So by default, you already have the two screws. Okay, which you would be using the Allen key, which it provides you an Allen key. However, if you have a micro flat screwdriver, that would also work as well, which that's what I will be using. So I can put that in, and as you can see, it easily comes right off. Now, by default, you have them both screwed in, and these are the mesh holes. So we're going to be doing dual coils. Okay, so we're going to be unfastening the other one as well. Just like this. Voila. And what I would do is just put it in the bag that comes from Vicious Ant. So that way I don't lose them. Put it right in the Ziploc. And here's the other. So it's easily saved. Put it back in the box. I'm not going to use this. It's on parallel, running parallel on each side, not side by side. Okay, so you would have to do the same here. So mesh would go in here, mesh would also go in here, and right here would be just, you know, where you're going to be filling it in. Okay, so let's get started. And for this operation, we're going to be using is Avid's tubing that I really have been enjoying using it on Jenny's now. It has been totally ideal. So what I want to do, okay, so this one doesn't fit in, this one should, and it does. Okay, so it falls in flush. And what I like about this is that you can keep the coils, you could do a very easy micro coil, and then you slide in the mesh, and you can get the mesh in tight if you wish. But right now, let me just get, there we go. Okay, so now each of these do come with a serial number. See that? There's your serial. And this is all stainless steel. And for this, I'm going to be using a pretty thick wire. I'm going to be using Kanthal 25. Yep, 25. Put this in, just like so, okay? And then what I'm going to be doing is, now I can apply a lot of pressure without bending the mesh. That's what I'm really enjoying. I could bring it all the way down and keep adding force, okay? So I can do that. Now, as I do each loop, as many of you guys have seen me do Jenny's, I like to automatically start adjusting my wraps as I'm doing each wrap. So this is 9, and this would be 10. So now what I'm going to do is loosen the top, okay, and I'm just going to tighten it down just a little bit. Not too tight, but just enough. But this is 10 wraps right now. See that? See that? Now, that's a micro coil for you. Now, when you do these coils, you want to make sure that the first wrap is not touching the actual base. See how I have it lifted as soon as it's coming out of the nut? It's being lifted up. That's very important. I really want this to be up there. It reduces the chance of shorting out and getting hot spots. In addition, make believe this tubing was your mesh. You see the space between this Phillips screw to the actual pole from the center pin right here. Okay, they cannot be touching. They cannot be like this. Like, well, I can't bend this, but it's not, clearly it's not touching. You only see is the wire intersecting directly to the Phillips screw. That's the way it should be. And the mesh should be already automatically cutting off to the point of where the positive wire is actually making contact on the positive pin. Okay, that's one thing. So what we did was, again, I did not tighten down this 510 completely. It's just a hair enough so we can straighten out the wraps. And once the wraps are straightened out, see how easy this comes off? Very easy. And there it is. Okay, and we still have to do a dry burn and so forth, but just to give you an idea. Okay, now we cut and we leave just a little bit. Okay, we just leave a little bit hanging, and we'll start working on the other one. Okay, we'll raise up the wire up to the top, and we do the other one. And as you can clearly see that the first wrap is not even touching the base. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to work on the other one. Oh! Oh! See what happens when you don't ride the Cinnamon Titty Express? Forget about it. So now, and this is 10 wraps. And now I'm going to use a little bit of a thicker flathead because I just want to adjust the coils, the wraps, a little bit more. Just to raise them up. And the beauty of this is that you're not damaging the mesh, you know? That's why I love this so much. You're not damaging the mesh ahead of time. So okay. So this is how it looks. There we go. Okay. Now we do a dry burn. So as you can see, you'll light up evenly. I can light a basement with this. Ooh, very, very nice. But being that now it's heating up, I can brush it. I always like brushing. That's my brushing method. There we go. And it's beautiful. Look at that. Okay. Now, so you can see the actual ohms. 0.6 ohms, almost 0.4 ohms. This is dual coils, 10 wraps each coil. So while that's done, and it's cooling off a little, what we're going to do is now we're going to get ready the mesh. Let's ready up the mesh. So I'm going to use this layer of mesh. Now this is 400 mesh. Okay, I got this from Fluid Vapor. And we're going to be needing a pair of pliers, and we're going to be needing is a torch. Yes, a torch. Forget about it. There we go. Now, what I like to do, I recommend people do after you do the oxidation, you cut a layer of the mesh, all four sides. Very thin layer. Okay. That way, if there was any threads, you don't have to keep wasting butane fuel trying to burn it out. You can just might as well just cut a layer, a very thin layer, like what I'm doing right now. And that's it. Now what I do is I cut the mesh in half. This stuff we don't need. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start rolling. And when I roll, this is how I roll. I form it, because see, you still have the inner channel, okay? And I roll it very slowly and evenly. I easily press down on it as I roll it in one direction. And as I keep rolling, as you can see, the diameter gets smaller, okay? And you still have a really, really good inner channel. So you keep doing that. Not too much, but estimately, you're estimating the size of the diameter versus the size of the coils. So you want to see, and here we go. See, it's snugged. Like right now, what I have to do is, let me focus that. Okay. So, just to give you an idea, this thing, see that? So what I do is, you see what I'm doing? I'm turning it, okay? I have to turn it clockwise, like as if I was screwing it in. And bingo. That's it. Okay, there's resistance because I can't push it in straight. I have to actually turn it. Okay, and when you turn it, you want to make sure it's on the same side where the mesh is closing. And that's about it. And I really don't use a lot of mesh into the tank. I just only use that amount, and that's it. So what I'm going to do is right now is I'm just going to cut where my fingers are right now. And it's not a question of being cheap. It's just a matter of I don't want a lot of mesh in my tank for two reasons. One reason is that it's going to wick better. Second reason is because it's going to taint my juice. I don't want that. So same thing. See, I can't push it in, otherwise I'm going to bend the mesh. So I have to keep turning it. See that? And now you got to push it in a little, okay? Once you get to here, but just a little bit more. Perfect. Okay. And as you can see, see it that way, but as you can see, there's the mesh sticking out. Okay. So now we do the same thing on the other side, and also as you can see, I keep the mesh from not touching this Phillips screw. You see? Okay, that's perfect. Now we do the same. We already cut it in half. Let's see if it's long enough. By golly, yes it is. You see, it's actually a little extra long too. So I can actually still cut a little bit more off of this mesh, which I'm gonna do. Just a hair. And there we go. Perfect. See that? So you're protruding just a little bit out. That's it. And that's how she looks. Okay. And now we actually fire it. Now what I want to do is brush it. See? Look how she looks. Very, very beautiful. See that? At almost 0.4 ohms. Dual coils. 10 wraps, baby. 10 wraps. Hoofa! Who's gonna be riding them cinnamon titty trains, baby? Who's gonna be vaping their ass off? Ooh. I tell you. Ooh. Anyway. So, now it's done. Now, let's put the tank. Okay. And now, like I say a million times with a lot of people, is that here comes the dilemma. What juice? What juice we're going to be using, man? What juice? Would I need to say more? What'd you think? Yeah? Hell yeah. I got to thank Bunny for that one. Boom. She's the best. Shake it up. So we're going to put in some mother's milk. Okay. Drip on the meshes just to help get it started. Oof, forget about it. This thing is gonna be beautiful. Totally beautiful. Okay. So, being that I did dual coils, I am going to be opening up the airways all the way. They're all open. And what I'm going to do is, you have to measure it from the middle. From this slit all the way in the middle where the actual mesh coil is. Like so. So that way it's right in the middle. Just like that. Okay. Now, need a drip tip. Well, this one is too small. Let's try another one. Ooh, too small. Okay. Let's see. Oofa! That was not nice. Okay. Nope. Okay. Wow. We're batting 1,000 here. This isn't good. This isn't good. Forget about it. Oh, that wasn't good either. Kraken's getting very upset. And look what fit. Cisco's bore drip tip. Alright, so let's have ourselves a vape. Okay, so it's on my Nemesis, Kraken, completely open. Wow. Totally. Wow. It's just the airflow, you know? Oofa. It's a fog machine. Literally like a fog machine. The Kraken. Oh ho. So, let me tell you something, man. An action speaks louder than words. What does that tell you? You're the viewers. You see what you're seeing. Forget about it. Oh, man. I feel like some monstrosity is just coming out of my mouth on that one. And it's all about how you do the coils, man. That's all what I can tell you now. Let me tell you something. This is the way I'm doing it as of late. Okay, as of late. I wasn't doing it like this all the time. Okay, so I've been playing with different builds, but I gotta tell you, this from Avid Vapor. It's cheap, very cheap, and it's a necessity tool, man. If you're into RBAs, man, because it helps. You have every freaking size that you can think of that you can use. And it's all the way how you do the coils. And, you know, it takes time. It takes a little practice. And as you saw, it took me less than 20 minutes to actually build this coil. Okay? And it may take a person that's about to start a little longer because it's a matter of how you actually get that mesh kind of tight. So there's a special way of doing it. Woo! Delicious. And I don't get a lot of heat. Like, I'm not getting a lot of heat even at those ohms. I mean, the deck is pretty large in there, you know? Very, very large. Delicious. Totally delicious. As you can see, like, I filled up this tank, and look. Now, for the people that'll think it's not wicking because of the size of the mesh, no, because as you can see, I'm not getting any dry hits. No dry hits. And you can adjust the airflow. Now I'm going to adjust it and make it like half the size on both ends. Now let's see. A lot more flavor and a lot more heat. So you can actually adjust it if you want a little bit less of an airy draw, you can. However, if you're a lung hitter like me, okay, and that takes time to be a lung hitter. It does take time. It's like your first time getting on e-cigs. You end up coughing a little bit, and then after a week, you're not coughing. You know, so it's a little bit of a curve. But if you're not a lung hitter, that's okay. You can actually make this extremely tight. But when you make it extremely tight, it's going to be very, very hot. So I wouldn't recommend this kind of build if you're going to actually do a very, very tight draw. This build is more for a lung hitting build. That's what I actually did on here on the Kraken today. I'll be more than happy to show you in a different video to do one for a very, very tight draw. Okay. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. Hit subscribe, okay, and reply and let me know. Because then otherwise, you know, I'll do the video. If not, I won't do the video. Okay? Delicious. Delicious. Very impressed. Very impressed. Vicious Ant, you did a great job. Thanks for sending it to me for this review. And, man, I'm pretty impressed. I'm pretty impressed. And as you can see, very, very, very impressed. Totally. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Live hard, baby, and vape hard. Forget about it.